Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris. And for today's message, what I have coming through is this pretty much reassurance that where you're going, what you're doing, who you're becoming is more of you. That everything that you've worked for, everything that you've wanted, everything that you've desired, it's no longer something that you're just fantasizing about, but that you are actually doing it. You're putting in the work, you're learning the skills, you're doing the activities, you're checking off the list. You're putting everything together for you to be more of you, for you to have what it is that you're here to have, who you're here to be. And the more you become you, it becomes so much more easier for you to really embody what it is for you to be the person that you genuinely are. And there's nothing more or nothing less of you. You're learning to look at yourself without being so judgmental, without being so um, harsh on yourself, without having so many rules. And you're learning to forgive yourself. You're learning to forgive uh, the failures that you have. You're learning to actually succeed. And this is what it means for you to succeed, for you to be more of you, right? And so you're also, you keep getting reminded that what you're creating, that what you're doing, that who you are becoming, that there was nothing ever really wrong with it. There was nothing that needed to change or become something more, something different, something other than. None of that needed to happen. That it was okay for you to show up exactly who you're meant to be, for you to play in the way that you play, for you to get creative in the way that you are, for you to say no to things that just don't replenish you, for you to lean into things that do replenish you, for you to know that, hey, you're actually worthy enough to one experience something pleasurable as much as you're worthy to feel the thing that's painful, right? You're learning that it's not about worthiness, but it's a practice to feel a certain way, to feel a certain emotion, to feel a certain something. And you're continuing to practice what it's like for you to be you, for you to be the expression that you're here to be, and that you're enjoying every single moment that you get to have. You get to enjoy the moment that you get to have with yourself, the stories you're telling, the people that you're around, that you're understanding that the choices you've made, they have a certain weight to it, that they mean something. And so it's a choice. You're learning that the way that you move, it's a choice. That everything that you've done has been a choice. And that grace that you extend to yourself, you're learning that you get to extend it to someone else too. That you don't have to force someone to do or be something, become something. But it's a choice they get to make, and you're learning to see that you're not there to raise someone unless it's your child. You're not there to raise someone, but to know that it's a choice that someone can make. And if if it's not a choice that they make, then even that in itself is understanding that they're choosing to be compliant, they're choosing to stop right there. So then, why are you feeding into that? And now this becomes a little bit tricky because this shows through in the environment and the people and the leaders that we have. Um, and so it's how do you hold someone accountable and still hold yourself to ensure that there is this change that happens? How do you shift that consciousness? What happens? What needs to happen? How do you get creative with it? How do you travel that middle path? Not do what they've done, not have to tear down, break down, point fingers, none of that, but just to genuinely question what it's like to go down the middle path where it doesn't tear someone apart but encourages them to build and to shift or to see different systems, to see the systems look different and for them to act and behave differently. What does it require for that? And to move towards it. You don't have to be on fire to know that something is hurting you. You don't have to know that you're being burned only after noticing that, oh, look, it's a fire that's burning you. Right? And the same goes for our emotions, our feelings, our sensations, the environments that we're in, the people that we're in, the conversations we're having. And this isn't to be so harshly self critical, but at the same time, it's taking responsibility for your consciousness, for the way that you show up, for the choices you're making, to hold yourself accountable. It's it's a self-governing system. And when you begin to govern yourself in such a way, and not only you, but hold other people accountable for the way that they're showing up in these spaces, because it is important and of value, it is something that is sacred. Something is sacred because, or something has a value because it has value for you. You define what is valuable. And so the same goes to you. Are you defining that you're valuable, that you're valuable enough to have this desire, to have this vision, to have this experience? Are you truly holding yourself accountable? And are you changing and shifting the way that you show up so you can make sure that you're showing up with integrity? And it's learning to critically navigate through your world in a way that makes sense for you. To know that you don't have to make a change because someone is pushing you to change, but to change because you want to make it. Now, those are the everlasting changes. It's the ones that you say that, you know what, I want it to change because I don't want to see that. Because there has to be a different way, there has to be another way. You're the change maker. And that's all up to you. It's truly up to you. To have the courage to actually look at where you are, to evaluate what you're doing, where you're going. But at the same time, don't just get stuck in just evaluating it and playing it out in your mind. Try it out. See what it's like to act it out. See what it's like to play. See what it's like to fall, to get hurt, and then to get back up and try again. To do it differently. To not do the same thing over and over again, but to do it differently. Give yourself the grace to actually look at where you're going, what you're doing. It's important to self reflect as much as it's important to take action. And it's finding the balance with both. And your body, your surroundings are constantly reflecting back to you what's happening and what's there. Your environment shows you what's happening. So see it. Have the courage and the capacity to see it. Is there anything else? Okay, I'm gonna be leaving the message right there, and I hope that there was something there for you to take in and reflect on. I hope that it did inspire you so you can make that change that you're really looking for. And I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.